Monday, July 7th. Welcome back to Damon Bruce Plus. We're brought to you by Egg Sandwiches. It's great to have you here again. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, all those good things. As far as I'm concerned, baby, football season is here. I mean, it's right around the corner, and we need to start. Well, basically, we need to get out of the speculation business and into the actual reacting to games. Like, that's going to be happening soon. We're going to get preseason football before you know it. And we'll be seeing these guys out taking snaps. I know that training camp is starting soon. Looking forward to getting down there and checking all of that out. But in our last few weeks of speculation, let me just speculate a little on a guy that I think a lot of people have just forgotten about. And that is Christian McCaffrey. Now, Christian McCaffrey is the kind of guy where you can forget about him at your own risk. This isn't somebody who had a good year, got hurt, and now you can just write off the way a lot of people want to do it. It feels like a lot of people want to sort of convey he's never going to be who he used to be on him again. And you know what? Maybe you're right. But if I'm right, the 49ers are going to be an absolute monster again. I think if Christian McCaffrey is back in a top 10 conversation when it comes to running backs in this league, the 49ers are going to be a monster again. I saw this shared by Warren Sharp. Warren Sharp, one of my favorite NFL analysts out there. This was a poll of coaches, front office guys around the NFL. Who do you think is going to be a top 10 running back? It's not the sexiest graphic I've ever put up, but here it is. According to NFL execs, coaches, and scouts, Saquon Barkley is in that driver's seat right now. There's no doubt. Who's going to doubt Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs? Robinson is there. And then, look, Christian McCaffrey at number 5. Jacobs, Taylor, Cook, Mixon, Kamara after that. And I'm going to tell you, if Christian McCaffrey is occupying any of those spots, there's just no limit as to where this season goes for the San Francisco 49ers. I think a lot of people forgot who Christian McCaffrey has been in this league, who he's been with different teams in this league. So it's not like this is a one-off, had the best of them, never going to see that again type of a situation that a lot of people want to make it out. Look, let me also put this big old caveat on this little segment right here, right now, too. A young defense is going to have to get its sea legs underneath it quickly. But if that happens, if a young defense gets its bearings quickly, and McCaffrey is reminiscent of the Christian McCaffrey that we know, not even being exactly the same, just in the ballpark of who he used to be for the 49ers at his best, like that's 11 wins right there, boys and girls. That means you're home for a playoff game. I hope anyways. In 2020, sip of the day right there, by the way. That was freaking delicious and perfect. A young defense needs to get its bearings quickly. Christian McCaffrey getting better, and look out, everybody. In 2023, this guy was nearly 2,000 yards from scrimmage. He was 1,400 on the ground, nearly another 600 in the air, 21 total touchdowns. In 2024, you rolled that all back to 200 rushing yards, about 150 receiving yards. He played in 4 games, sparingly, 0 touchdowns. You cannot go from the extreme success to the massive disappointment that Christian McCaffrey has been and just expect to be the same football team. Now, if you get half of this guy back, again, if he's in the top 10, the top 5 at his position again, the 49ers are going to kick much ass. They will, once again. He just turned 29. We know, what do we really know about bilateral Achilles tendonitis other than we had never even heard of that until Christian McCaffrey had it? It's supposedly in the rearview mirror. The year off, it's right. He is cleared for any and all contact, all participation. There is no restriction on him at this point in time at all this year. That is a very good thing. This is a guy who is not just a game changer. I think he's a confidence boost for the entire team, mostly the head coach. Mostly the head coach and quarterback. And I'm just going to tell you right now, when the 49ers got a running game that's working and a defense that makes tackles, there's really no stopping what they can be. It feels like Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, or you could have several other quarterbacks in this conversation. I mean, that's what I've been told. Like, quarterback play is just anybody can do it. Well, Brock Purdy's here to do it for a, third straight year now as this team's, no doubt about it, big contract is his starter. And I believe that this guy is going to produce like never before. I really do. I think Brock Purdy's about to have a great year, but even without Brock having a great year, just Christian being back in the room changes everything. You could not have had a worse offense last year inside the 5-yard line, and that's because of Christian McCaffrey's absence. I really believe that. And it shouldn't just be all him. There are options, being Garendo behind him, being the rookie from Oregon behind him. Like, let's go. Let's get this ball to somebody other than Christian McCaffrey. But I want McCaffrey's numbers to not reach 2023 levels, not because he was hurt, but because he doesn't have to be used in low leverage situations anymore. Last year, the single worst team in football running the ball inside the 5-yard line was the New York Giants, 32nd in expected points averaged, EPA, minus 1.02 EPA for the New York Giants. In other words, they did less to score points than they restricted their own ability to score points when they ran plays inside the 5-yard line. After that, it's the 49ers at 31. The 49ers were basically the New York Giants without Saquon Barkley trying to run the ball inside the 5-yard line, and the New York Giants sucked out loud, and so did the 49ers running game. I think Christian McCaffrey solves that problem by himself. By himself. But the offensive line didn't do X, Y, and Z. Forget it. It's basically the same group of guys just 2 years ago, right? It's not that dissimilar. Oh, but the wear and tear and all the things. Look, I can't control a never-ending wave of injury, getting older, anxiety. That surrounds every single NFL conversation we will ever have. All I know is that if Christian McCaffrey is back and kind of the guy that we remember, look the fuck out. That's where the 49ers turn from good team back into might be great team. McCaffrey did it in Carolina. McCaffrey's been injured in Carolina. Oh, he'll never be the same again coming back from those injuries. Yep, not only was he the same again, he was better. Now, you don't want to throw too many quarters into that wishing well. You really don't. But I think that we are going to see a totally recharged, reborn 49ers offense, especially in the red zone. And I'm going to tell you, there was enough offense to, had they been just decent in the red zone last year, had they been anything other than as bad as the New York Giants, I think they could have won 10 games last year, and we all know how bad last year was and all the reasons behind it. But just being able to finish a drive with 7 instead of settling for 3 is where the entire league turns. And the 49ers turned away from the end zone more often than they turned into it. And it was a massive problem all damn year long. I think with Christian McCaffrey back, it's not going to be a massive problem anymore. Might be a little bit of a problem. Might not be nearly 2023 level dangerous. Doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be that good again. Christian McCaffrey does not have to be in the offensive player of the year conversation and winning it for the 49ers to get a monster season from him. Cheers. Again, it's great to see you. Look at all the regulars in here. All my good people. Mason was still productive even when CMC was down. There are many other factors other than CMC needed this season. Sure. I mean, it's never only one thing, but he is enough of the one thing to where I'm telling you right now, that guy is back and doing it again. Look out. He is that one guy. Christian McCaffrey, again, it's easy, out of sight, out of mind to forget. Christian McCaffrey is one of the single best football players we have ever seen at running back. This is not an exaggeration. This is not an oversell. This guy is a Hall of Fame level talent. He is that good. And paired with Kyle Shanahan, It was deadly. Deadly. Christian McCaffrey is the one guy, since he has joined this team, you lose him, you're in an awful lot of trouble. And sure enough, the minute that they lost him, they were in an awful lot of trouble. You could just see the skeleton key could no longer open the doors. I think the skeleton key is back. I think he changes absolutely everything more than anyone else. I feel like Christian McCaffrey in the top 10 could also spell too much usage. I want to see 70-30 balance of CMC Garendo save CMC's legs. Oh, indeed. Indeed. You don't want to overuse him. Again, I don't need him to replicate 2023's production. I don't want him to. The 49ers shouldn't want him to. This guy's got years to play after this upcoming season. So this is not the end. He just turned 29, like in June. This is not an old man. I know a lot of people want to sell him as like, oh, he's washed. I don't think so. And as you can see by this little list right here, NFL executive coaches and scouts don't think he's washed either. As a matter of fact, they think he could be the fifth best running back in football. Again, he shows up anywhere on this list. The 49ers are in the postseason, kids. It's just that simple. You know, it's never just one thing, unless I think that one thing is Christian McCaffrey. He is that special. He is that good. Speaking of that special, that good, let me tell you about this guy right here. Ike's has put $4 in your Love Rewards account. If you have signed up for your Love Rewards account, which I hope all of you have, you regulars, you who have access to Ike's, how lucky you all are. If you are a Love Rewards member, he's got $4 in there from his 4th of July giveaway. That's still going to be in there until the 9th, I believe. So you still have time to basically get a sandwich at half price because Ike is buying half of it for you. Use the Love Rewards points, and you can earn more along the way when you buy sandwiches. You get free chips, free drinks. Check out catering options. My man Ike has something delicious for you for lunch and dinner. Don't just think about, oh, this is just a lunchtime sandwich. He's got significant sandwiches. Go find out for yourself. And if there isn't an Ike's around you, my God, I hope there is soon enough. What I also really hope there is around you, or you get a chance to be around it soon enough, is the Dubliner and West Portal. What an awesome bar. I'm telling you, this week I'm popping in to see Kenny and John and talking about maybe getting together for a little baseball action. Let's put together a group of fans getting together, starting off. By the way, it's National Dive Bar Day. No, it's not that the Dubliner is a dive bar. It's not. Dubliner is a nice place. It's perfect. It ain't fancy. It ain't pretty. It's just what a bar should be. But it's not like a classic dive bar where you walk in and you go, ugh. I mean, that's part of a dive bar's allure, right? There's no when you walk into the Dubliner. Just good times, good people, like-minded folks, just sort of minding their own business, hanging out with each other, watching a little sports, listening to a little music, having great conversations. Check out Dubliner West Portal and tell them that the Plu sent you. God bless. I'm so excited for football season to get back here. I need football season back. I don't know about you, but this past long weekend or 3-day weekend, unless you were outside enjoying yourself, what in God's name were you inside watching? Like you got a little Wimbledon, I guess, on TV. There was a little golf yesterday. You had some Giants and A's games. You had a little Warriors Summer League, but to all of it, I need football back, or I at least need the new release of college football that's coming out, I think, this week, right? It would have been a great weekend to have it this past weekend. There wasn't enough to do, but I guess we get college football back from EA Sports this week, and then before you know it, we're going to have actual college football. We're going to have actual preseason football, and I think we're 8 weeks away. We're 8 weeks away from dun 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 bum dum bum dum da 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 da. Yeah, I'm ready, baby. But if Giannis is looking at winning a chip and not just a finals trip, he has to, let's not even do that. You want to get to the Warriors? You want to get to Giannis? Let me tell you, if anyone wants to win a championship, I don't know if coming to the Golden State Warriors is the right thing to do as they are currently constructed. But we'll get to all that in a minute. There's one more thing that I want to give you from the NFL that is just, again, we're talking about teams in, teams out. Can the 49ers get back into the playoffs? Which team in the playoffs last year might find themselves backing themselves out of the playoffs? History says, and this is too bad because we really like the guy.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Love you, Dan Campbell.
Come on, Deese. Deese nuts.
Bad news for the Detroit Lions if you believe that history repeats itself. The Lions lost Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, both of their coordinators. Johnson in Chicago now is the head man, Glenn the head man of the New York Jets. Lots of talent on that team. It's a great offensive line. There are playmakers everywhere. And oh, by the way, we love Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell has changed the culture of the Detroit Lions with his attitude, with his bravado, with his lunch pail work ethic. Dan Campbell is exactly what the Detroit Lions needed, and I hope he is still what they need, but with his 2 best coaches exiting stage left, history says this season will be unkind to the Detroit Lions. Since the merger in 1970, there have been 18 division champions who have lost both coordinators. In other words, this season was so great, our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator left for better jobs. Of the 18 division winners that lost both coordinators, 13 of them had worse records the following year. 4 of them actually improved, and only 1 of them stayed the same. So the chances of the Lions regressing mathematically are greater than, they're going to be just as good as they were or better. So look out, Detroit Lions. It's a whole new ballgame when you lose 2 coordinators. Again, we get back to the 49ers. We all know that Kyle is the offensive coordinator. I don't care what it says on anybody else's business card. And Bobby Saleh back in the room. I think Saleh is good for a win all by himself. I think a new special teams coordinator is good for a win and a half all by himself. That's how bad special teams was. Christian McCaffrey being healthy is good for several wins all by himself. I like the 49ers a lot this year. Until I see a reason not to like them. Until I see a reason to not believe. And I am hardly Mr. Blowing sunshine up your ass when it comes to any of our Bay Area teams. I think it's going to be a really good year. By the way, Sam Bruno, Mike.
Maximum football!
Cheers, Mike. We're all ready. I think we're all ready to have it back. I'm going to tell you right now, I've got some great guests that I'm lining up for later on this week and next when it comes to getting you ready for this upcoming football season. During this football season, we will be having live watch parties during each and every 49ers game, not just doing post-game shows. And I'm working with a company that is going to provide what I think is going to be an incredible format to do a real call-in show. We experimented with this around NBA playoff times, and we're going to be more than experimenting with it, maybe picking like Tuesday or Thursday night as a nighttime call-in show. We're bringing Sports Phone back, baby, in a very cool way. So I'm really, really excited about this upcoming season. Year 3 for us here together on YouTube. How about that? Time flies when you're having fun, and it's officially been so much fun over here. Thank you for being a part of it. Again, if you are new here today, like and subscribe if you would, please. We got an awful lot coming up for you. Tuba Sun God, the watch parties were fun last season. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope that they will be less therapeutic this year and more like, hey, isn't this going in the right direction? Because last year, again, that was a slog. That was an absolute slog last year. And Christian McCaffrey not being involved, I believe, is right at the center of why everything went wrong. And now that he's back, I think he's going to be right in the center of why everything is looking normal again. I really, really do. Pretty excited about it. Year 3 already, Chef A. Year 3. Year 3 already. I do believe we are officially the fastest growing YouTube media entity emanating from the Bay Area. I'm talking about all TV, all former radio. Maybe there's some like YouTube food blogger who's growing quicker than I am. I don't know. But in the world of sports, this is happening, folks. There's no going back. So welcome to the party. It's great to have you here. It really, really is. I would really like to welcome the Golden State Warriors to the offseason party, but apparently all the invitations that they're passing out are coming back RSVP, no responde, s'il vous plaît. How is Kuminga still on the Warriors and Al Horford is not? I did not have that on my dance card come July 7th. Here we are, Monday, July 7th. Kuminga remains on the team. I really think he is going to. I think he's going to sign that qualifying offer and things either get better or get worse. And I don't know, he will have the ability to veto any trade, but I think he kind of wants to get out of here enough to where he'd embrace it. So I think that's a game of chicken that the Warriors can afford to play. And look, if they can't get the right deal for him now, you don't do it. I saw the Sacramento Kings offering like a sack of potatoes for Kuminga. I'm not doing that deal. So I don't blame Mike Dunleavy for not doing that deal, but it is maddening that not understanding the value of Kuminga or being able to extract what you think the value is out of Kuminga is the defining feature of this relationship. They don't know who he is as a guy. They don't know who he is as a player. They don't know who he is as an offseason asset. So it's a whole bunch of, well, I guess not much happened. And that is frustrating. For the Warriors to have invested all of these building block days in Kuminga only to get to the point where he might actually be somebody and not be able to enjoy any of the benefits of that is just kind of on brand for a team that has not been pulling the right levers since walking off the court in Boston. A whole season of Jimmy Butler. Okay. Sounds a little old, but I'll bet on it because I know the Warriors are. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry. I mean, the three of them together are 35 wins easy. Like, that's going to happen. The Warriors are not going to be a bad team, but I don't know if they're ever going to be a great team again. My God, I saw a picture of them. Here's their starting five a year from now when Dame Lillard's in the conversation. Dude, Grandpa Lillard at this time? Come on, man. That's a nursing home, not a starting five. How excited could I be about Al Horford? Yes, I would like him on the roster. Yes, he is conceptually a stretch five that would fit this team very, very well. But Al Horford is thinking of either retiring or coming back for one more year. So it's really hard to get excited about Al Horford in any way, shape, or form. But it'd be a lot better to have him than not have him, I'll tell you that. Quentin Post, Trace Jackson-Davis are your bigs on this team right now. DeAndre Ayton signed up with the Lakers over the weekend. So that ship sailed, whether you wanted it to dock in the Bay or not. It won't now, and it's in LA. I don't think the Warriors can honestly think that they're going to survive this year in a good way if they don't get bigger. I think that just the small ball team that the NBA used to get run over by, that team's gone. Trying to get that team back. And again, how this team gets better by getting off Kuminga, I still don't see it. I still don't understand it. I know Kuminga is flawed, but he's also young, which means I'd be willing to overlook a lot of flaws. And if you can't play well with Curry, well, guess what? There's going to be a whole lot of Curry ain't playing right now in this upcoming season because the Warriors are going to try to get every single drop out of his career before it is over. And the best way to do that is to keep him under 30 minutes a game. Al Horford, the next David West. I mean, that's wishful thinking. We'll see. We'll see. Got a summer league team full of nobodies, except for Will Richard, baby. Oh, Will Richard. I can't wait to see him in the NBA All-Star game. So what? He had 16 points. He took a game winner. I like the stones it takes to take a game winner. Unfortunately, he didn't hit it. He's a steal from Florida. Maybe. I don't know. Again, I remember being on Sports Phone one night and being told I'm supposed to get really excited about Marco Bellinelli, and that there really wasn't an X marks the spot to that. So I will take your summer league performances and roll my eyes at them in perpetuity. But Will Richard is the concept of young on this team, and if he plays well, there will be an opportunity for him. Can he take over Gary Payton's position? But this offseason, not just for the Warriors, but for the NBA, is really kind of sucked. I mean, it's just not much has happened. Nothing is, I mean, that big 7-team trade that ESPN has been trying to sell us, it's boring as hell. Knowing that all the real muster or all the real oomph of that trade was the, Kevin Durant to Houston and that portion of it, which we've known about, basically you got, we knew what the entrees are. Now you guys are trading like pudding cups and fruit cups, and it just doesn't matter. So your 7-team trade even sucks, NBA. This offseason has sucked. Your new CBA kind of sucks. The second apron has taken all the fun and the imagination away from this league, and I don't know if that's good for business. Owners being prevented from spending like drunken sailors on shore leave. Yeah, great. Nothing spices up the NBA like financial responsibility. Let the billionaires spend their money. At this point, go ahead, work out something. Further invest in old men. Trade for LeBron. At least that would be interesting to watch. Don't trade for LeBron. We did get Kevon Looney's official goodbye over the 4th of July weekend. I think he wrote a little something in the Players Tribune or something like that. I saw some nice written words penned from Jonathan Kuminga, a trusted agent, if there ever was one for the Golden State Warriors. Good guy, says he's Bay through and through to the day that he dies. And he goes ahead and eats for free for the rest of his life here in the Bay Area. Kevon Looney, I don't know if it's a retire the number situation, but he gets to be part of the montage statue without a doubt. Without a doubt, Looney gets to be part of the montage statue, which, as far as I'm concerned, Curry, Clay, Durant, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Kevon Looney, Steve Kerr, and that's your montage statue, I think. I think those 7 guys get immortalized together in some sort of statue because it felt like they were at the core of all of it. David West does not make the montage statue. Sorry. Speaking of official goodbyes, what a sad official goodbye we have to tell you about had you not already seen this. This is the obituary of Raider Mort. Raider Mort, as I said on Twitter earlier this week, his name is Steve Mortera. Sadly, we see here that he died of an accidental drowning, which is, I don't know if there's a good way to go. That is among the worst. And all I can tell you is that as a new host to the Bay Area all the way back in 2005. When Raider Mort started calling me on sports phone, I knew that my career was starting to take shape, and it was starting to officially work here in the Bay Area. It was a level of acceptance. He was a San Jose State grad. He was a great guy. I met Raider Mort in person many times. Just a fantastic guy and a true friend of JT the Brick. It was JT the Brick's tweet about losing Raider Mort that made me aware of it. And it's very, very sad. Raider Mort was a good guy, and he was a great fan. So much so that I got to tell you, the Raiders did something that I don't think I've ever seen a team do before. Now, Raider Mort is a fan who I believe was part of the every team's going to enshrine a fan into the Hall of Fame. I think Raider Mort got enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Maybe the Raider Gorilla did too. The Raiders issued a press release about the passing of Raider Mort, and this is incredibly poignant. And I wish Raider Mort could have seen this. He would have loved it. He would have absolutely loved it. Hopefully there is a heaven. Hopefully he's there, and hopefully his email still works, because the Raiders sent out an official statement. The Raider family mourns the passing of Steve Mortera, better known to fans as Raider Mort, a deeply passionate fan of the silver and black, cherished part of the Raider Nation. Mort attended games all over the world, supported the Raiders with rare and ardent fervor, an expert on team history and trivia. Mort's lifelong love of the Raiders was an inspiration to fans everywhere. Prayers of the Raider Nation are with Mort's family at this time. And again, for the Raiders to have issued that, I salute you. I really do. I don't think that Mark Davis is a particularly good owner, but I do know he is a particularly good guy. And that was a heartfelt thing to do. That would have meant a lot to Mort. I don't know if JT the Brick had anything to do with that getting released, but it was the nice and a right thing to do. He was such a good guy. Such a good guy. SG Sports Talk, who's been a member of the Plus now for 9 months. Thank you for your unwavering support, SG. Hi, Damon Bruce, big fan of your YouTube channel. You're such a down-to-earth person. I hope you keep on making content, and you rock. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. And considering I have no options, we'll be continuing making content, and we will continue to rock. Thank you very much. I hope you continue to watch everything. Hit notify, like, and subscribe to make sure that all of you can do just that. Let's see. Congratulations to the San Francisco Giants for officially having pulled up from their nosedive at least a little recently here. They take 2 of 3 at the minor league A's and have now won 4 of 5 games. 6 games remain before the All-Star break. They're all at home, and they're all against stiff first-place competition. So are the Giants turning things around? Is Willy Adames finding his stroke? Or is he just hitting in a minor league ballpark where you're built to be comfortable as a major leaguer, I guess, in some ways, and in Arizona, where everybody usually hits well? Is that what's happening here? Well, we'll find out against the Phillies and Dodgers. Not only are the Giants playing the Phillies and Dodgers, they're playing their own ballpark at all times, it seems like. The Bats woke up a little on the road here. Will they go back to sleep now that they come home? They better not. Again, did Willy Adames find his swing, or did he hit well in Arizona and a minor league ballpark? We're about to find out. This is a guy who had not been hitting well on the road, by the way, but he did hit well. And in July, all of a sudden, Willy Adames, who I've said is a god-awful contract. I don't know if it'll really be anything other than a god-awful contract. In July, though, he's got 2 home runs, 9 RBI, and he's hitting .423. There was nowhere to go but up for that guy. So that's good. You keep that up. Devers keeps rounding into form. Chapman back in the lineup, finding his place again. Jung-Hoo Lee, wake up and do something, please. All of that has to happen simultaneously for the Giants to do anything. This is a team that is hitting .231 on the season. .231 is the same team batting average of the eternally pathetic Pittsburgh Pirates and the galactically horrible Colorado Rockies. So, nobody's talking about the Rockies or the Pirates in terms of any postseason anything, but for whatever reason, the Giants fancy themselves a contender. Why is that? Well, it's because of their pitching, and they are sending pitchers to the All-Star game. Where did my hold on. I wrote down wait. Oh, here we go. Congrats to Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, and Randy Rodriguez. Those are your 3 All-Stars that the Giants are putting in the All-Star game. First time since 2021 the Giants have had 3 players in the All-Star game. Webb is only 28 years old. This is now his 2nd consecutive All-Star game. I saw Bob Melvin said that makes him a perennial All-Star. No. I don't think back-to-back All-Star games make you a perennial All-Star. Perennial means every year. That's just 2 years in a row. But you go 3 in a row, 4 in a row, yeah, then all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, Logan Webb is the Giants' best player. He is incredible. Logan Webb is an absolute stud ace for real. He did not pitch well in his first All-Star game. I think he gave up 3 runs last year. I know he wants to actually perform well should he get into the game. But this is a guy who's leading Major League Baseball in innings, 2nd most strikeouts in the National League, 5th lowest ERA in the National League. Logan Webb, in a world of pitching where nobody goes deep anymore, Logan Webb goes deeper than them all, again, with all the innings that he's logging. And I respect that, and you should too. And that makes him twice as valuable as a guy even with a better ERA. Again, he eats up innings. Robbie Ray, meanwhile, 33 years old. They rebuilt this guy. Don't tell me Tommy John is career ender anymore, because look at this. Tommy John rehab has officially worked for Robbie Ray. The lefty's now 9-3 on the year with a 2.68 ERA, 107 in the 3rd innings, 18 starts so far this year. It's his 2nd All-Star appearance and his 1st since 2017. So congratulations to Robbie Ray. What a tough journey that's got to be to think, man, I'm going to be something special in this game, get hurt, get lost in rehab, then get back and really get it all back. So congrats to Robbie Ray. And then, of course, the young man himself, Randy Rodriguez, the incredibly rare bullpen guy who ain't a closer, who makes the All-Star game. When's the last time the Giants put somebody from the bullpen in an All-Star game who was not their designated closer? Has that ever happened? I guess Susan Flesser may be writing about that somewhere. This guy is 25 years old. He's got an 0.71 ERA that is the lowest among major league relievers. He's been charged with runs in 2 of his 38 appearances, and that's it. He is part of the reason why the Giants are pretending to be contending if they aren't actually doing it. He is a big reason why the illusion is alluring. Giants got pitching coming out the ass. They're just one of the worst hitting teams in all of Major League Baseball. How many years in a row can we say that before they actually do something about it? It's amazing. It's amazing how limp-wristed the Giants lineup has been for years now. And of course, 3 All-Star games, none of them actual position players. They're all pitchers, or 3 All-Stars in the game. But look, they have pulled up from their nosedive a little. And again, Willy Adames, what are you going to do? Rafael Devers, okay, you've had your I'm new here moment. You've had your I'm pressing moment. Now it's time for you to have producing moments. Chef A says, by the way, the unis on both the Giants and A's games were so annoying that color-wise, no one has any... let me tell you, Major League Baseball and Nike are not good friends. I don't get it. I really don't. Those 4th of July hats, where instead of it being red, white, and blue, like the red, white, and blue, all the fonts and colors that we see on the flag, it was this light North Carolina blue, red and white. Like, what are you doing, Major League Baseball? It was awful. And it wasn't just awful for the Giants and the A's. It was, everybody got shafted with that terrible looking hat. Seriously, the hats had the same color scheme as the Houston Oilers. It didn't look like you were celebrating America. It looked like you were celebrating the memory of the Houston Oilers. Again, when they make me sports czar in charge of everything, you will instantly see basketball courts improve dramatically, uniforms improve dramatically. Your alternate and novelty uniforms will improve dramatically when I am put in charge of absolutely everything as your sports dictator. It would get better. Look, I understand this is how dictatorships begin, by saying that I'm the only one who can fix it. But in this case, I really believe that I am, because everybody in Nike seems to be blind, deaf, and dumb. The amount of bad new NBA courts and NBA uniforms, and it's so god awful. I don't understand what anybody's doing. Well, Damon, a lot of these uniforms aren't for you. You're a 50-year-old guy. Let me tell you what even a 15-year-old kid, a 5-year-old kid would love more than these stupid City Connects. The orange jersey. How about in Arizona when they started wearing the black jerseys on the road? That looked good. Just do that. Just do that. You want a City Connect jersey? Just go to the black jersey. Go to the old Giant pullover jersey. Do that. Go back to the Barry Bonds as a rookie, or not a rookie, but new here level of Giants font. Or, hear me out. Why don't you never fuck around with your awesome uniforms and just leave it as that? Like the New York Yankees have figured out a way to be a profitable football or basketball, whatever they are, baseball team with just 2 uniforms. There's that. You got the dope vanilla uniforms. Wear those. Your road grays, fantastic. You got a black jersey, mixing an orange jersey. Quit screwing around with the color purple. Who do you think you are? Whoopi Goldberg and Steven Spielberg? Quit screwing around. I guess Oprah was in the color purple as well. Kevin Love going to Utah. I think all white players eventually get to Utah. Is Kevin Love even in the NBA anymore? I didn't even know that. Like, when's the last time Kevin Love affected a team or its season? So, congratulations, Utah. I see Ace Bailey reported for duty. That's good news, I guess. So, my friends, there it is. That's what I had for you today. That's what we gave you. I hope you enjoyed it. We got a little today in history, of course, to get through, but there it is. Thank you so much to Ikes, to the Dubliner and West Portal, and to all of you for watching. Hit like and subscribe before you go, if you would please. Let's hop into a little today in history. First of all, we start with a happy birthday to one of the last living Beatles that we have. Paul McCartney's still with us, and so is Ringo Starr, who turns 85 years old today. Ringo Starr, 85 years old. Comedian Jim Gaffigan is 59 years old. I've always thought he's a pretty funny guy. Lisa Leslie, one of the first big women professional basketball players that the WNBA offered us, was Lisa Leslie. She is 53 years old today. Happy birthdays all around. You know, they always say better late than never. I don't know how good this was coming late. But in 1456, so this was a long time ago. News didn't travel as fast. 1456, a retrial verdict acquitted Joan of Arc of heresy. That was from Pope Calatus the third, by the way. This came 25 years after she was burned at the stake for heresy. But, about a quarter century later, they gathered information and thought, we probably overreacted. This didn't help Joan in any way, shape, or form. But today in 1456, mistrial was declared after they had burnt her at the stake. Today in 1898, William McKinley, President McKinley at the time, signed the New Lands Resolution and annexed Hawaii as part of the U.S. territory. Today in 1898, happy birthday, Hawaii. Now, we couldn't officially include this into happy birthdays. Number one, he's no longer with us. And number two, we're not even sure about it. But today, in 1906, Satchel Paige, who, of course, became famous for all of his years in the Negro Leagues and then being a player who pitched in the major leagues, Satchel Paige is believed to have been born today in Mobile, Alabama. Don't really know, but I guess it's the day that they chose to celebrate Satchel. So there you go. Happy birthday, maybe, Satchel Paige. You know the saying, best thing since sliced bread? That saying officially began today, because today in 1928, sliced bread was sold for the first time ever by the Chilcott Baking Company in Missouri. So there you go. Best thing since sliced bread started today. Can you imagine living in a world where you had to slice your own loaf every time? I don't think we're prepared for that. I don't think the world could handle that. Not without cutting a lot of fingers off anyways. Today in 1930, the construction of the Hoover Dam began. If you've never seen the Hoover Dam with your own two eyes, you have no idea how big that thing is. And especially that it was built in the 30s, and they built it in 5 years. They started construction today in 1930. They were done September 30th, 1935. It's really impressive. We used to be a great country that built shit. Today in 1946, Howard Hughes crashed his XF-11 reconnaissance aircraft in a Beverly Hills neighborhood. You've seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. This is where he has to get his own broken leg out of the plane, and he has to crawl away from a burning, exploding airplane. This was that airplane crash today in 1946. By the way, speaking of crashes famously on today, in 1947, today is the day that the Roswell incident happened, where a lot of people say, hey, an actual alien crashed to Earth. They discovered it. They autopsied it, whatever. Somewhere near Roswell, New Mexico, the reported crash of an alien spaceship happened today in 1947. Today in 1954, Elvis Presley made a radio debut on WHBQ Memphis. They played his recording for Sun Records, That's All Right. So Elvis hit the airwaves for the first time ever today in 1954. Today in 1978, I don't think that there was a more popular, more dominant female athlete on the planet in my childhood years than Martina Navratilova. And today in 1978, Martina defeated Chris Effort to win her first of 9 Wimbledon titles. Martina Navratilova was a monster. Speaking of monsters, today in 1989, Lethal Weapon 2, which totally rebirthed Joe Pesci's career. They fuck you at the drive-thru. Today in 1989, Lethal Weapon 2 came out. Also debuting in theaters today in 1989, Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's was great when it came out. It was funny. It really was. The whole Bernie lean thing that happened in Oakland there for a while, that was great. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. JP from the 510 has been hitting the Google machine. He says, man, the bread knife was invented in 1893. Sliced bread, 1928. What the hell took so long? It's, I think we're talking about mass production of sliced bread. But I hear you. I mean, were people actually like eating sandwiches in between two whole loaves of bread for a while there? Hand banana. Leo Getz. He was Leo Getz. E. Scott Burns, diplomatic immunity. And you had Patsy Kensit, who showed off the goodies in that too. She was so hot there for a while. Patsy Kensit was like the hottest chick coming out. Was she Australian or was she from London? I don't know, but she was a hot foreign import right there. Niners Worldwide, 89. Great year. Sure was. What else we got going on here? I think we're good. I hope you enjoyed today in history. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks again to SGA Sports Talk for being a member. San Bruno Mike offering up a super chat today. Thank you very much to all of you. And I want you, hand banana. She was a smoke show. She was English. Look at this. There's always a doubter. CMC top 10, maybe in the Pee Wee League. Yeah, you're right. It's not like this guy hasn't destroyed the NFL in multiple teams, recovering from multiple injuries. This guy is special. And if he's a top 10 player, the 49ers are back in the postseason. You can book it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Great to have you here today. And the only thing I will ask you is to please remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. Oh, I should let you know that Wake Up, which did not happen this morning, will be happening. Oh, thank you very much, Hand Banana, just coming in with a quick fuck John Fisher. Thank you very much, Hand Banana, as always. What I need you to know is that Larry and I will be doing a Wake Up Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, live at 9 a.m., Kruger and I back to Wake Up, and we'll, of course, be back to our normal regular schedule on Friday as well. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Sports don't build character. They reveal it. And like that, he's gone.